Hi everybody. Hello. So, I just popped in Ashley's chat real quick. I don't think she's there though cuz the screen was just spinning and everybody was kind of like, where did she go? That kind of happens sometimes with her. She just halfway through the stream you get her ceiling. So, well, thank you, Stacy, very much. We got Caroline Ironwill in the house, and Caroline, I gave you an email with the link. If you have it, you can come on up whenever you want. You're more than welcome to. I'm so interested to hear Caroline's perspective on all of this, seeing as how she's, in the community. And for those of you who don't know who Msashycat is, she is somebody who, who is pretty popular on TikTok, I guess. I'm not too familiar with TikTok, I'll be honest. I'm kind of a little older for that. I don't find joy in TikTok. I mean, it's not for me. My little girl, however, I've told this story before. My little girl likes to sneak TikTok. She at one point hovered over my shoulder for the password I have for her apps and downloaded it, okay? And that only lasted for a couple of minutes because she came in my room crying. I told this story, but she came in my room crying going, Mama, why are people so bad? I'm like, she saw somebody hurting an old man and said, why would they do that to their grandpa? And I said, this is why you don't have TikTok. There's bad people out in the world, So if I have TikTok on my phone, my kid's gonna be like, give me that. Like, no, probably not now because she's traumatized, but I don't. I keep it away, so I don't do the whole TikTok thing. So apparently, the TikTok thing, she kept getting Ashley. Well, I'm gonna call her Ashley, not Msashycat, because I kind of, Msashycat's kind of a weird name to call somebody, when you're trying to speak about them. So, I'm gonna call her Ashley. So. This is like, I don't want to say triggering for me. I want to say it's a steady reminder of, how serious this. Now, before I even go there, let me back up a little. Sometimes I get ahead of myself. I don't know. I don't want to say I don't know. I want to say, allegedly, our friend Ashley is, an opioid user, okay? And this is an epidemic, okay? This happens to lawyers, this happens to doctors, that, like I've said before, nobody is exempt from becoming addicted. You can take a substance with the best intentions, okay? The best intentions. Something goes a little haywire in your brain, next thing you know, you're addicted. So that does happen to people. Some people don't want to believe that. They'll say, no, it's a willpower thing, it's this and that. Well, okay, I beg to differ. I mean, there is scientific studies out there that show that some people are more prone to becoming addicted. So before I get into this, I do want to say, I am not here to drag anybody. I am not here to make Ashley feel bad by any means. This is not going to be a drag Ashley fest at all. And if anybody is a moderator and sees anything like that, just get rid of it. I have no tolerance for people who, don't have respect for any disability, anything like that. That's just, I like to own my nasty, and I am all for people speaking their minds, believe me, okay? But when it comes to that, that's a line I just won't even deal with. I won't even, don't want to hear it, don't want to, just boom, gone, okay? I don't want to make anybody feel less than, because trust me, addicts already feel less than, whether they admit it or not, and they don't need anybody telling them what a POS they are. So, with that being said, don't want to, but on the other side of the coin here, I do have a little bone to pick, because our friend Ashley here, who is a tarot reader, by the way, like I said, she had a big following on TikTok. She kept getting kicked off of TikTok for people were claiming she didn't pay. I mean, people were claiming that they paid her and they never got their readings. And that's a problem because, you're supposed to get what you pay for. Hello. You know? So there's that. That kept happening. People kept reporting her. And not a good look, you know? So her pages kept coming down. I think she went through, I think, don't quote me on this, 5 of them or so, and then she moved over to YouTube. So she's here with us on YouTube now, which would be fine if she wasn't, you know, taking advantage of people. Yes, Crystal, she is live now, black screen showing, and that's not uncommon for her at all. At all. At all. I watched one the other night that was half ceiling, you know. It's disturbing. I dove in a little bit last night, and I just can't believe that. And this is the scary part. Not only is it scary for the obvious reasons, because of there's no good way this ends unless she gets help. I mean, and even if and when she gets help, she has to live down all these videos she's put out into the world that are just messy, right? So, you know, I just want to remind her there is another way, even though it might not feel like it. I am living proof of that. I was an opioid addict. I have been clean now for quite a while, for years, and I see things like this all the time. It's so sad. I think we all, at this point, know somebody who, in our lives, who has been down this road, and death, institutions, jail, recovery. Those are your options. Those are your options. There are no other options. Okay? And I see a lot of people making videos about her now. I'll be honest, I didn't know who she was until, we'll call it, the train wreck started to appear, where people started to really get frustrated with her not paying. Manda Pants did a great video about it. Manda Pants, it's interesting. Last minute, I invited Manda Pants and Caroline, and I think it would be a perfect trio because Manda Pants has the professional side, right? She's a social worker, from what I understand. There is an aunt. Oh my god, hold on, guys. Ew. Where did this come from? I hate ants. No. Sorry about that. Anyways, what? Now I'm gonna be like itchy. Anyways. Sorry. Manda Pants has that real professional side. I work in the field. And Caroline is the metaphysical aspect. And I'm in recovery. Caroline works in the metaphysical field, and you know, Manda Pants has that professional outlook. So I was hoping that, you know, the 3 of us could talk, but like I said, this is a last second thing. Manda already had plans, because, you know, I asked her literally like an hour ago. But Caroline is here, and Caroline, whenever you want, you can hop in. But yeah, so we have a tarot reader who appears to be, I have to be careful with my words here, even though, you know, let's call it what it is. She's obviously under the influence, Ashley is, and in my opinion, okay? And, you know, not only is that bad because she's taking advantage of very naive people out there, because, Caroline, I sent you the, hold on, let me see if I can bring up the, I emailed you, honey. Remember how we have each other's email addresses? I shot you an email with the StreamYard link. You just click on it, and you can come on up. But let me see here. Let me make sure it went through, because, yeah. Yeah, sorry I didn't go live last night, guys. So I was supposed to have a mama-free night last night, right? But au contraire, my child had other plans because she threw up on my bed. So there was that. So she's here with me. She's out there, but so that was short-lived. So I didn't go live last night because I was like, didn't know what was gonna happen with her. Obviously, I have to put her first. So I'm here. So last night I spent a lot of time watching Ashley's videos, and so back to what I was saying. The metaphysical aspect, right? Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know a lot about it, but I think I know enough to know that, you know, you are supposed to be of pure intentions and pure mind when you do things like that. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, Caroline will obviously elaborate on that, but how can you give an accurate reading if you're under the influence. And this is the thing. This is this girl's bread and butter, right? And I'm not knocking her hustle whatsoever. I mean, I don't have any problem with what she does with being a tarot reader at all. My problem comes in with the people who expect a normal reading and they either A, don't get their reading, or B, they get it and it's just like, huh? I watched one the other night, and here's another thing too, which really concerns me. This really concerns me. Oh, Caroline gave you an accurate reading, Joe. That's great. Caroline, yes, I have Caroline's website in my description, and her channel. If anybody here isn't familiar with Caroline, Caroline is good at what she does. She does have a website, and you can make appointments and stuff like that. So I'm glad to hear that Caroline gave you an accurate reading. That's cool. I need to get one from Caroline. I always mean to do that, but yeah. So all right. Oh, I think here's Caroline. So Caroline, it says your guest will need to connect their camera and microphone before I can add you. It says you don't have a camera or microphone. That's weird. That's device not connected, Caroline. You need a camera or microphone. So I'll let you work on that. I don't know. I've never seen that before, but it's no hurry, no pressure, Caroline. Take your time figuring it out. Don't worry. Oh, is this working? Here we are. Hi.
Hey, I made it. Okay.
Hi, Caroline.
I'm just really proud of you to do tech stuff. So first of all, thank you, AZ, for having me on your show. If I would have prepared, I'm actually out of milk and I'm gonna go grocery shopping tomorrow. But I was gonna get a bag of milk and show you how I drink milk out of a bag just for you.
Canadian, yeah. For anyone out there who doesn't know, Canadians get milk in bags. So weird to me that Canadians have milk in bags. I just can't get over that. That's just crazy. But I love how you call me AZ. That's funny too. So Caroline, I want to ask you, what was your first impression of Ashley?
So I watched a few videos. I wasn't super concerned. I did make a video about her as well. I don't know if you saw the video that I made about her.
I haven't even seen it yet, Caroline. I'm sorry. I have to check it out.
No worries. No worries. YouTube algorithm's a crazy thing. Merlin, off.
Real. It is.
So yeah, it concerned me a lot. So you were talking about how Metapants has the professional side and I have the metaphysical side. Well, I also like to see myself as having the professional side. So I do have a degree in a BSc in psych, so basically a degree in neuroscience, and I'm a certified practitioner. And so I use all of those skills in my tarot practice. I'm not a therapist. I'm not able to diagnose or anything like that. But I use the background and the skills that I have to help my clients. And I have been I've been reading tarot for almost 20 years. I've been pro for Merlin. He just took my mask. Hang on. Drop it. Drop it. No,
freaking Merlin.
I'm sorry.
Merlin is our dog. He's so cute. I love Merlin.
Yeah, I have a beagle who's 2, and he's lovely. But he, every time I talk to the mic, he gets excited, and he doesn't realize I'm talking to my pumpkins or I'm talking to Conspiracy's gang.
He thinks you're talking to him, probably. He's like, me.
Yeah, and he's
so cute.
He's very lovely, but he's a pest sometimes. Off. So that's kind of what I was getting to, and I'll get to Merlin in a second, how that ties in. So I'm also a member of the Professional Tarot Association, which is out of the UK. I will be honest, my membership is currently lapsed. I just haven't had a chance to renew it yet. I'll get on that. But part of the motto and the mission statement for the Tarot Association is to restore and protect the dignity of tarot and as a profession. And there are so many of us who are already under such scrutiny, for so many people thinking that tarot is always just a scam and all tarot readers are just taking advantage of people. And so it's really important for us to have a high level of professionalism so that we can show that, no, this isn't just a scam. We actually take our job very seriously. So that's the reason I'm never under the influence. I mean, I drink coffee and tea when I'm on camera, but I'm not intoxicated ever when I'm reading tarot. And before the beer bug, I did a lot of tarot parties. They were my favorite thing in the world. I did a lot of bachelorette parties. And of course, there's always adult beverages available. And I was often like, hey, do you want a glass of wine with us? And I'm like, as soon as I'm done, yeah, absolutely. But just out of respect for my clients, I don't appear under the influence. And I think that's really important to have that. Someone is coming to me for a professional service. I charge $100 an hour, and they don't want someone who's drunk or under any other sort of influence.
Yeah, how can you connect? How can you connect with the universe if you have that blockage of being under the influence? And this is the thing. This, like I said, this is this girl's bread and butter. She's never gonna say, yeah guys, I'm struggling. Because some people will be like, oh, I'm not gonna pay you for that. Like, give me a drunk reading. I'm all set with, you know what I mean? So of course that comes with it. And even if it wasn't her bread and butter, and she still had I don't see her admitting it until she's ready, and that's the thing. Caroline, I didn't know there was an association with tarot readers, and you do want to uphold that reputation, because I think it's come a long way. I mean, people used to kind of look down on it. Now I see more and more and more people on every platform interested in it now and into it, and that whole thing. So for her to just, it's just it's almost like she's giving you guys a bad name in a way. And I can't tell you how desperate some people are. She does that reading where she connects to deceased loved ones. Those people that seek that out are desperate. They can be taken advantage of. That's a huge thing, from me. I see a lot of people complaining with her about that,
And there are a few things. So I do have people ask me about loved ones, and I will do kind of a surface connection with their loved ones when I do my live stream. So if someone says, my father just passed away, is he okay? And almost always the answer is yes. I'm not going to just give a pat answer. I'll do a quick connection, but I actually will do mediumship sessions. I haven't done them over Skype or Zoom yet, but I have done them in person, where I do a full cleansing of the room, and I have an EVP, which is electro voice phenomenon.
You have one of those?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's so cool. I don't know if I had a story the other night about having an experience with one of those. I was freaked out, and I had an app, and it knew my brother's middle name when he asked it. It was just crazy. I was like, get rid of the app. That's cool. I didn't know that you did all this other stuff, Caroline. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
She's scamming people. In a nutshell, yes. I feel like I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but whether it be unintentional or intentional, she's definitely scamming people. Now, she might be convinced that she is doing a good job. She might be, because people need to remember, she's under the influence. This is not her. This is her under the influence. She's a different person, okay? And we have to remember that. People get so angry with her, right? I see some people being so nasty, and that's not gonna help anything. I'm all about owning your nasty, but when you see she's hurting right now, whether she'll admit it or not, she's in pain, and then she's taking her pain and consequently putting other people in pain, because they want to talk to their freaking dead uncle, and she's over here yeah, I'll get to you, and never does it, So she said she made $3,000 in 4 days sitting at a desk, and then she's got people in chat just one after the other saying, I never got my reading, and the moderators just delete it, and I got a problem with those moderators. Let me tell you, I do.
Let me tell you, I have the best moderators ever. I have amazing mods. And no offense to your mods, but my mods are the best.
My mods are better than yours. Just kidding.
So when I do my tarot live streams, I choose every Tuesday at 3 p.m. It used to be 2, but Emily D. Baker kind of goes long sometimes, so I want to make sure that I can watch Emily. So I'm now at 3, and I have my mods keep the list, and there comes a point where the list gets shut off because I only go for an hour, and if you want your reading, and the point of my tarot live streams isn't to make money with the live stream. Now, we're talking about professionalism, and I was mentioning my dog. I hire a dog walker during my live stream so that I can focus on my clients, and he's not begging for attention. So, like, as long as I make enough money to cover the $15 for my dog walker, I don't care. What my live stream is for, to advertise my tarot business. So someone gets like a little 4-card spread and like, hey, this is what I do for like, a $5 super chat. And then they can book a reading if they want more details. I'm also very careful about the types of questions that I will take in the live stream, not just for monetization purposes, but for caring for my clients, because it really bugs me that Long Island medium chick, she'll see somebody at the grocery store and say, hi, can I talk to you? And just like get consent, like, okay. And then she'll leave them just like sobbing about their dead mother and just bye. And there's no sense of like making sure they're okay.
Not cool.
Like that. And if I'm doing a 5-minute spread, I can't make sure my client's okay.
Right.
So that's really important to me for the integrity of caring for my clients.
Yeah, and that's why I'm doing this, Caroline. Yeah, that's why I'm doing this, because I'm not, like I said in the beginning, I'm not doing this to try to drag the girl down and all this stuff. I mean, I want people to know, like, hey, if you're going to pay this girl, you might want to know this first. That's all. Because, at the end of the day here, I don't want to take money out of her pocket, but at the same time, I don't want to see any good people hand their money over to somebody like her. Do you know what I mean? Like, and not only that, like, this is an epidemic and a disease, and I think that people need to stop paying her. I was watching a creator. It wasn't Mando or you or anyone like that, but saying, oh, people were complaining they weren't getting their money, so I paid for one to see if I would get it, and I didn't. And I'm like, why would you get this girl is like not right? Why would you know what I mean? Like, just don't give her money, guys. Just don't. And this is the thing too, and I caught this the other night. A lot of people will call the authorities or call an ambulance on her, because there was one point last week, I believe, or the week before, where she apparently looked like she was overdosing on her live. So somebody called the EMS and the police, and this happens frequently, I guess. I can't really speak on it because I've never, seen it in the extent that some people talk about, and people are angry. They're like, why aren't the police doing anything? Like, they don't understand, like, you can't hold somebody hostage. You can't put them under lock and key. You know what I mean? That's not how this works. And I see a lot of I've seen comments say, you guys are paying her, you could get charged for accessory after the fact if she dies. I'm like, no, you can't. Like, for buying a freaking tarot reading, no, you can't. So it's really, really sad that there's these people are just angry, and I think the anger comes from, it sucks seeing somebody do that. It just sucks. It really does. And she's not fooling me, because let me tell you, takes one to know one, Caroline. Okay, you know that. Takes one to know one. I want to show something real quick here. Go ahead.
So there were. My train of thought just derailed. You're right. And so, Ashley, if you do happen to pop on, or if you watch this later, I want you to know that I don't consider you competition. You and I are colleagues, and you can reach out to me at any time, Caroline@carolinironwill.com. And I'm not just saying that as like, just a pat response. Like, reach out to me. We can talk shop. We can talk shit. We can talk about clients, because when I saw your videos, what I could see is that your tarot chops are on point. Like, you are good at what you do. Oh. You just seem to have some health and some issues. So reach out to me. We can talk business. We can give each other tips. Like, I mean, really, like, you have twice as many subs as I do. So we have lots that we can share. We have lots that we can talk about. I am concerned with your safety. So if I can be a resource to you, if there's any way that I can be of a support to you, let me know, and we can hash things out. Same, Ashley.
I think everyone just wants to see her do well, because I mean, she does have a great personality. She's very bubbly. I watched some of her older videos where she seems to be a completely different person. Okay, it's like day and night. And she's cute. She's cute. She, like, in my mind, I don't know if I'm just an artist. Like, I compare people to animals in my head. Like, I'm a reindeer. She's like a Furby. She's like cute. She reminds me of a little Furby, and I mean this in the most adorable way. Don't get offended. But like, I just wish she would just come on. Like, the only person you're fooling at this point is yourself. I'm here too. I'm in recovery. Like, I just want to see her do good, man. And like, reading these comments for people, it hurts. Like I said, takes one to know one. You're not fooling anybody at this point besides yourself. And I just want to show something real quick that I think a lot of people, and listen, I'm not dragging her, but I'm going to show it anyways because this just blew my mind. So here we go. Let me bring it up. It's a clip, so let's see.
Okay, babe, let me get check. Whoa! Besides. I got 3 payments in while I was...
Okay. I know you guys saw her take her mirror down and check herself. She clearly was like, hey, let me take a look at my handy dandy notebook here. And you can hear her sniffing things, and then you can see her check her nose in the mirror. It's like, I was flabbergasted. I'm like, what? Like, do you not realize we just saw that? And these little things, these there's millions of them. I'm not going to sit here and play them all. This is just an idea. Like, people need to learn how to recognize these little things. Like, and another thing too, like, there's so many naive people around her, whether they're naive or they just don't care. One or the other, her moderators are literally enabling her. Okay. And even if you leave a nice comment, like, you know, it doesn't have to be this way, I want to help you, they'll delete it. Like, because they don't want people jumping in the chat, seeing these things, going, oh, what's up with this girl? Maybe there's something wrong with her. I'm not going to get my reading now. You know what I mean? So her moderator should be ashamed of herself. And I'm going to tell you why. When you have someone in your real life who enables you, it's because they're there and they have to see you firsthand suffer. When you're a moderator and you're enabling somebody like that and co-signing that nasty behavior of how she abuses her viewers, we haven't even gotten into that. I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know, moderators, what are you doing? Why are you letting this girl, why are you covering up these things, saying, oh, she's tired. She's not nodding out, she's tired. That's the oldest excuse in the book. The oldest one. Sad, really sad, moderators. I don't even know if they're ever going to end up seeing this, but you guys,
the purpose of the moderators should be to moderate the chat, not to moderate the creator.
Those moderators should be being paid. So I saw someone ask, do moderators get paid? No, moderators do not get paid, but hers should, because they are there on top. Like a little while ago when the thing was spinning and she wasn't even live, they would just dodge and comment. It was like dodgeball. Like, people were like, hey, I paid you for my reading and I haven't got it yet. Boom, comment gone. And the girl wasn't even live. It was a spinning screen, but their moderators were in there playing cleanup, going, hey, we'll just email her then, she'll fix it. And the lady's like, dude, I've been emailing her all week and she still hasn't gotten my reading. Like, you know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, taking advantage of other people like that is not okay. It's not. And I understand it's her addiction. Trust me. I understand that. I understand she's not well. I understand she's going to do whatever she can to get that next dollar. Like, for example, her live a little while ago was titled, Come Cry With Me. And the first 2 minutes of it, she's crying, saying, I had $675 last night and now I only have 11. And it's like, oh, okay. It's like, poor me, you know, give me more money, you know, this, that, and the other. It's so disturbing, and people do, and they do. Sad. Her moderators should be ashamed of themselves for co-signing that. I mean, come on, guys. Come on. You should know. Oh, and they make excuses. They make excuses too. Yeah, I wanted to talk about that too. This comment right here. Let me put it up so I don't forget. They make excuses like she's just tired or she had a rough night or like, come on, man. Caroline, did I hear you say her tarot is on point? I wanted to stop you right there too because I seen a lot of people say that she's not good at tarot. So you know that she is?
I only saw, like, I didn't watch her catalog. So I only saw her give a few things, and she wasn't too bad. But she seemed to have great knowledge about tarot, and she seemed so. I don't know her whole history of reading tarot. I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt of the little bit that I saw that she does know what she's doing.
Right.
I saw some other like really concerning behaviors in the little bit that I did see. One of that was like tax fraud of, oh, you can put just zeros, when then she's saying how much she made with tarot, and that really concerns me because, like I said, you know, integrity and professionalism in tarot. So, yeah, like you got to claim your tarot income, and you know, when you do your taxes, like I usually get a refund because I you know, a portion of your rent if you've got an office.
No, she's not even giving. She's definitely she's not a noble business owner. That's for sure. She's not even taking care of her paying customers. Never mind freaking her taxes or whatever. But Jesus, that's a little much. So I also heard now, Love and Light. I see you saying like, you know, her own sister has a TikTok page about her that actually has no family support. And now I would hope. I mean, that maybe that's the wrong choice of words, but I would think that maybe her family doesn't support her anymore because she's run them into the ground, whether it be financially, emotionally, with her manipulation, with her lying. And sometimes, you know, I've spoken about this before, sometimes you have to draw that healthy boundary, you know, and it sucks. But her own sister has a TikTok page though. That's kind of a little much, but I haven't checked it out. I know that there was some essay claims from her sister that I have not seen myself or whatever, but I am blown away by the amount of people who send her money. Now, this girl goes to Walmart more than anybody I've ever seen in my life, okay? She's got a live Walmart stream. So what she does is she allegedly just got an apartment, right? She's like, guys, I need a vacuum. So she takes her live into Walmart and people send her money for the vacuum, and but she's picky. She'd be like, oh, but I need the steam cleaner one. I need the nice one. I want the nice one. And it's like, if you're a beggar, you cannot be a chooser. I'm sorry, you cannot. Like, hello. So she's very picky about the things that people are buying her out of the kindness of their hearts. It's like, hello, maybe you probably shouldn't do that. But so that was a little disturbing. And then somebody said it like she didn't have it the next day. And I want to say, like, sometimes from experience, from being around people like this, you know, and living that lifestyle, I know that sometimes you can trade goods. Like if somebody's like, hey, I have this substance for you, and I need a vacuum, and you don't have the money, tell your followers to go get me my vacuum, my steam cleaner, and we'll trade. You know what I mean? Like, people do things like that, and I have to stop. And I'm so like, I've been in this life, so I know, and I literally have to stop myself and remind myself that not everybody knows these things. Not everybody was around this stuff. Not everybody's seen these things, lived this life. So there is a lot of naive people out there who don't know this and who are like, oh, maybe if I buy her the vacuum, it will, you know, it'll help her, and then she'll want to do good in life and do the right thing. And I think a lot of people enable her in that way, like, oh, if I help her buy her bed, then, you know, maybe she won't feel as bad and she won't do as many drugs. And I understand that people think that listen, there is nothing you can buy this girl, and there's no donation. There is nothing you can give her that is going to fix whatever it is that needs to be fixed inside of her. Nothing. Okay? Nothing. Remember that. So before you start handing her, you know, money out of the kindness of your heart, even though your intentions are good, you're not helping her because she doesn't want to be helped right now, you know? So I think everybody out there needs to remember that at the end of the day. Exactly. Grief readings. That's Callie. That's a huge issue with me too, you know, a huge issue. They're already dealing with loss. Now they got to deal with another loss because they're never going to get their reading. It's horrible. You know, And Caroline, I'm sure you've seen in the past few months, just like I have, how YouTube has these terms and services, right? YouTube's got these terms and services.
Mm-hmm.
But do they ever... Where... This drives me crazy. It drives because I had dealt with it with iMessy, right? He broke like 9 of them. We had KJ breaking them by telling people to go report people. I mean, then you got this girl over here who's scamming people. I mean, it's like where YouTube makes a lot of money. Okay, there's no excuse for this level of terms of service neglect, we'll call it. Do you agree?
Yeah, it bothers me a lot that the YouTube terms of service seem to be like suggestions and not rules. And
Exactly.
if I have to follow the rules, I think that everyone has to follow the rules. If I see the rules of the terms of service being breached, I do report them. Now, I mean, there's also things like you're not supposed to talk about how much money you make on YouTube, and if I say like I made $1.89 on this video, stop saying I'm doing this for the money. That's technically a breach of service.
Oh,
but that's
I didn't even know
different
that.
than me saying I made $180, right?
I didn't even know that.
Somebody in chat told me that, or in a comment, and so like there's degrees of, I mean, and then there's I may accidentally say somebody's name, not meaning to dox them, which is different than like giving someone's home address and phone number. So there's leeway that way, but when someone is clearly under the influence on YouTube, that's absolutely a breach of service. If someone is using while they're on YouTube, that's a breach of service. If someone is admitting to tax fraud, that's a breach of service. If someone is
the list goes on.
Fraud,
the list goes on. Yeah. Right. And she's gotten, I think she got her Venmo taken away. She still has her PayPal, which I find that kind of odd because PayPal is very strict. PayPal will take people's PayPal away for the weirdest things. Like I think even LB had a problem with PayPal. Like my daughter's father got his PayPal taken away because he put his password in too many times and he can't even go on PayPal. Like they're very, very, very particular about who they allow to use their services. So the fact that she's still on PayPal is very shocking to me. I mean, I'm sure it won't last long, but we have Darla Bennett here who says, drives me crazy too. I have a hard time asking people for anything, and she's over here demanding people buy her things and gets picky about it. I know. Like, listen, I don't like asking people for things either. And even when I have a little bit of money, I still go to the thrift store. Like I'm cheap. You know what I mean? My dad's Portuguese, okay? Like we don't even leave lights on when I was growing up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how I was raised. So to have somebody like be picky like that, it just boggles my mind. I mean, I don't know, man, but it's really sad. And I just want to remind anyone out there who has someone they love or in their life that is struggling like this, you can get Narcan from your local pharmacy. It has saved many people's lives, and it's good just to have it around in case that instance does come where somebody does overdose and take too much. It can mean the difference between life and death, and I think a lot of people forget that. Like I have a friend who keeps it in her trunk, and she's not even a user, and she just sees it so much because she goes around Boston a lot because she has to go there for work, and she has saved like, I don't know, freaking 3 people. It's crazy. Like just to have it, especially if they're in your household. I mean, and here's the thing too, like she doesn't have anybody in her real life that I can tell, like a significant other or a family member or whatever. Like nobody's babysitting her except for her moderators, it seems, and they need to stop putting their effort into something where they know it's not the right thing. I mean, and I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, think that maybe they're naive, but I find it hard to believe. Narcan is often given free at community events. Yep.
There's one thing I actually wanted to talk to you about as a because you work in mental health and addiction, right? So I had a thought, and this is I don't have experience in working with addicts. So I was there's a lot of people saying, stop giving her money, don't give her money, and for me, I'm thinking, okay, well, if she's doing tarot readings, whether legitimate or not, on the internet, we at least know that she is physically safe from other people. And if that's how she is getting food, and if that's how she's paying her rent, and that gets cut off, I think about like, okay, well, if she's not reading tarot on the internet, does that mean that she might go towards something that's a little more dangerous, something that would put her at risk? Like, so if she can't make
Caroline,
money with
that's a great point. And people with huge hearts like yourself, they think about that and they go, well, at least she's not out there selling her body. You know what I mean? And that very well could be next. Unfortunately, it could be. But here's what everybody needs to remember too. And it's going to be really brash and brazen, and some people might not like it, but that's not your problem. It's not my problem. It's her problem. And the sooner we stop babying her and giving her, you know, like the whole like what if, because I understand our hearts want to do that, but at the same time, this person has to hit rock bottom. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not saying that will be it for them, because it might not be if she did end up doing that. You know what I mean? God forbid. I hope not. But we have to stop worrying about that next move they'll make, and that's where the whole branch of enabling comes in, because, you know, like I said, good intentions come with enabling sometimes, and you wonder, like, well, I don't want her out in the street, and I don't want her to have to do that, and like, it's all logical thoughts, but you got to put that aside and go, not my problem. And it's hard, real hard.
Thank you for clarifying that. And one thing I did want to clarify is that I do believe that adult work is work, so we're not trying to shame sex workers, but we're just realizing that there is a far greater risk to being out on the streets, having sex with strangers, and the risk of violence. So we want her to stay safe, is what we're saying. We're not trying to shame sex workers, if I can just clarify that.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure that's
no, making money. No, yeah, I understand what you meant. That's a good point, Caroline. It really is. But yeah, what does Sweet Tea here say? She has burned all family bridges. She has stolen too many times. Please cancel your membership. She has a place to sleep. Now, I as a creator am not gonna suggest someone cancel their membership or anything like that, because that's where we get in the terms of service thing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but that's how she does it. And I understand where she has a membership where if you become a member, she will give you, I think it's a monthly reading, weekly reading, whatever. And I saw with my own 2 eyes, I saw people in there like, hey, I'm a member and I haven't got my reading this week. And just completely just like, well, I need to make some quick cash, so all you members need to wait. Like, just the way she talks to people is so harsh. Like, she literally, I hate to use the word abuse, but she verbally abuses people all the time in her chat, all the time. And people stick around for it, you know. Just want to say thank you to both of you for having this conversation. I hope she gets the help she needs, and Kim, I hope so too, and I know Caroline does. And if she I reached out to Ashley. I'm fairly confident somebody deleted it on her comment section from the video the other night. But if she ever wants to talk, I'll absolutely hear her out, because I can see a little bit of light left in her. I mean, I have faith that she can change. I have faith anybody can change if they want it enough. But yeah, we're here to listen and talk. And anybody out there who's been following her for a long time, I know there's this group of people on Reddit and here and there and everywhere that hawk her every move, right? That know her address, that know all this stuff about her, who are just, some of them, not all of them, are really nasty, and they follow her around. So she does have trolls. I'm not going to sit here and say the girl doesn't have trolls. She does. But you know, at the same time, you're not going to get anywhere telling her to go die and all these nasty things people say. I mean, you don't know what she might want to. She might struggle with the people are addicted to stuff for different reasons. At the end of the day, she needs help. She needs help. You've never seen her with a friend. That's sad. Yeah. That is sad. Yeah. That just hurt my heart, Darla. It really did. If Steve-O can come back from 900, hey, amen to that. Eileen, Steve-O, I can't believe Steve-O made it out. Caroline, you know who Steve-O is? Oh my God. Jackass Steve-O, he was a mess.
Yeah. I did a reading on Jake Paul recently, and I was trying to talk about that. You said it, so I'll say Jackass, but I didn't know if that would get demonetized, so I called it like Jack Donkey in my video. So
I love that.
I know it's really fun.
You're so cute. I love Caroline. Remember when KJ made you swear? You were like, "Oh my god, Jack Donkey." You crack me up, Caroline. You are so funny. I love it. And anyone out there who hasn't heard this, I put Caroline's channel in the description, and she has a website. I need to make an appointment with you too, because I don't think I've ever had a tarot reading done. Not that I can remember, anyways. But yeah, please stop giving. Yeah, make an appointment with Caroline. I will too. Please stop giving her money. You're just enabling her. Unless she wants help, there's nothing anyone can do. And that's the core thing. And I know people hear it and they like, yeah, everybody says that. It's the truth, guys. People say it because it's the truth, okay? You are enabling her? Yes, you are. There is a way to say, hey, you know what? Right now I can't help you, but when you're ready to get help, I'll be right there for you. And there's nothing wrong with drawing that line at all, you know? It's just sad. It's sad. And the fact that people aren't getting what they pay for just... And she'll tell you till she's blue in the face that that's not true, you know? And she's probably convinced herself that it's not true. But thank you, Jennifer, for your super chat. Yeah.
Okay.
So what would the Tarot Card Association say? I mean, do they say, like, you can't be under the... What's the outlook for that? Like, we would prefer you're not under the influence of anything. Are you supposed to be a pure being? Is that, like, a rule or something? Like...
I don't think so. I've never heard of anyone being kicked out of the association. But I know that that's their mission statement is, I don't even know it off heart, but it's something like, thank you, Cheryl. Remember I was talking about how awesome my mods are? Well, Cheryl is one of my mods. In fact,
oh, hi, Cheryl.
Yeah. Train of thought just derailed. Yeah, tarot. So I know there's like the words dignity and integrity about tarot are in the mission statement. There's lots of like support and classes if you're interested in learning certain things. So like I read a type of card called RWS, the Rider-Waite-Smith decks. There's another type of tarot deck called Lenormand, and I don't know Lenormand yet, and I want to learn. So there are actually courses you can take on the association through that. Marcus Katz, you need to give me some sponsorship because I'm pushing the the association. So Marcus Katz
that would be cool, right?
They run the association.
Jennifer, you can get awesome. A private reading. There's a website. It's called CarolineIronWill.com. It is in my description, and you can book a private reading with Caroline that way. So everybody make sure you know that. All right. I wanted to ask you this too, Caroline. I keep hearing that like somebody put a spell on her. Have you heard anything about that?
Somebody put a spell on Ashley.
Ashley.
On Ashley.
Yeah.
Have
you heard anything?
Anything about that?
Okay. Just wondering.
She, in the state that she's in, would be vulnerable to being attacked. There are ways that you can protect yourself against somebody. Like if somebody tried to throw something at me, I think that would be like, that's cute. You're not going to hurt me. But someone who's quite vulnerable. Yeah, I'm like, I as cute as I am, I'm also pretty badass. So, but with the state that Ashley's in right now, she would be quite vulnerable to attack. There aren't a lot of people who have the juice to be able to throw a good curse. So when I have clients come to me and they say, like, everything in my life has gone to shit, am I cursed? It is very, very rare that someone actually has been cursed because very few people have the chops to do that. Most likely they've fallen into a cross condition, which is kind of like a quicksand of bad luck. Luckily, the way you get out of that is the same way you get out of a curse. So that's something that I've helped people with, is getting out of those situations. But yeah, I think that she would be quite vulnerable to being under attack, especially if she is pissing people off in a metaphysical community. If she is defrauding people who practice metaphysical arts, she could be at risk.
I don't think I'd want to piss off the metaphysical community.
Yeah, like, I mean, people get me on paying for their tarot reading. There's been times there's one lady who got a reading in January, and I'm like looking at going to collections because she still hasn't paid me, and like, if I wanted to, I could put something pretty nasty on her. I'm not going to, but like, why would you risk that?
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to piss off the metaphysical people. Hell no. I believe in dark energy. I spoke about this the other night, and I do believe in dark energy. And if I believe in dark energy, then I have to believe that certain people are susceptible to it. So, I mean, you know, it's something I still read about, and it interests me. You know, I'm not opposed to it, any of that stuff. You know, like some people are, they're like, oh, that's all, you know, crazy talk. That some people won't even open their minds to it. I like to keep an open mind and say that, yeah, I think that there can be dark energy. I mean, but I have heard that a couple of, ooh, wait a minute, hold on. Sandra, Ashley has video clips of Mash putting harmful spells on her subs? What? Oh, the YouTube channel Ashley on TTT Skim. Okay. Oh my! See, there's other layers to this nasty that I don't even know about. And every time I watch another video or read more comments or see like this stuff, like I just find out more and more and more and more stuff about it. And that's horrible. I would certainly hope that's not it. Jeez. Yeah.
So I am just I did a video months ago about the ethics of cursing. I am not against putting curses on when necessary. So it is a form of violence, and I'm not a pacifist. And so to put a curse on somebody is no different than punching them in the face. But it is illegal to punch someone in the face. So if someone, you know, needs a punch in the face, there are ways I can do it without getting, you know, my butt thrown in jail. So
that's pretty badass. Caroline, you're pretty badass. You know that? Like, you can literally sneak punch someone in the face and not even have to go to jail. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, or like, you know, explosive diarrhea at the mall.
Yeah,
but it's not something
so
that
cool.
I do a lot. It's reserved for some very specific circumstances. But if you think about it, like, all magic is both light and dark, or good and bad. Like if you did a spell to get a job, well, that's pretty positive, right? You need a job, you got a job, great.
Right.
But what if there were more than one candidate for that job? And what if you didn't do that spell, if somebody else would have got that job? Did you just curse them because they didn't get the job? And what happens to them? What happens to their family?
The butterfly effect.
Exactly. So part of doing magic is taking responsibility for anything that happens as a result. If you did a spell to cure someone of cancer, well, you've just cursed their cancer cells. So there's good and bad to everything. God. And why it's called black magic or dark magic doesn't really have anything to do with being good or evil. What it actually is related to is that magic has always been a way for the oppressed people to get power, and in times of slavery, when the black slaves would perform voodoo, which is a traditional African religion, it's nothing evil, to try to get back at the evil slave masters, that would be called black magic, and it wasn't about evil or good magic. It was about.
Are you serious? I had no idea.
If you practice black magic, that's a term. It's a racist term. So when people accuse me of practicing black magic, that's a really, really not okay thing to say.
Wow, I had no idea. I literally, thank you for teaching me that. I did not know that. That's really interesting. That's super interesting stuff right there. I mean, who would have, I'd never heard that. Wow. So here's the thing. I never got too involved in it. Because the way I was brought up, when I was like 11 years old, I got money from my birthday party, and I went to Caldoa's and I got a Ouija board, right? And I tried to bring it home, right? And before I was out on my driveway, I'll never forget it. And my mom was like, "Oh, what did you get at the store with your aunt?" I'm like, "I got a Ouija board." She was like, "Nope, don't even bring it in this house. You're not allowed to have that. We don't mess with that, blah, blah, blah." So she wouldn't even let me bring it in the house. I had to return it. I was 11 years old. I was pissed. I'm like, well, this is my freaking birthday money. I want to play with the Ouija board. She wouldn't let me. So there was that, but that's the extent of it. And then I think I told you this at one point. Last summer, because I collect crystals, I know how you feel about crystals, but I got an amethyst pendulum, right? And I watched a couple of videos about how to use a pendulum, right? And Yeah, it was crazy, and it blew my mind, and I thought I was going nuts, and it's hanging up over there. I haven't touched it since because I'm like, this is weird, and it definitely can move the way, because you know how when you first get a pendulum, you have to like ask it questions it would know to like get what yes and no is. Like, I was like, this is crazy. I can't even handle this stuff. Like, I literally never used it again. I was like, I'm all set. Yeah,
So
the pendulum thing creeped me out.
Instead of thinking it as creepy or scary or weird, think of it as helpful. So I got my pendulum here, and all this is a piece of probably stainless steel on chain. That's all it is.
Right. Right.
You traditionally, like they used to be made with, you put your wedding ring on a necklace and use it the same way. So when this moves, so okay, I before I use it, every time I calibrate it. So give me a yes, and a yes for me is a circle. Give me a no. So how is this moving? I am moving it, but I am moving it with my subconscious. So I'm not consciously moving it, but it is the vibrations in my hand that are moving it, because I am, like we all are, connected to this collective unconscious. So this is why I don't, if I'm doing a reading for somebody, I can't give them the lottery numbers, because they don't know the lottery numbers, because the lottery numbers aren't in the collective unconscious. But the answers to, is my father on the other side safe? Well, because your father is connected to the collective unconscious, and you're connected to the collective unconscious, and I'm connected to that collective unconscious. Say that 3 times fast.
Oh.
That's how I access the answer. So it is not because of anything that is scary or weird or freaky. And that feeling I get when I am connected to that collective unconscious, and that feeling of like my higher self connecting to someone else's higher self, what that emotion feels like to me is pure love. It feels like, and if you're going to say that, love is God and God is love, and this is my divine self, this is the most pure, most beautiful expression of who I am and what I can do when it comes to connecting with people like this. So when people say things like, it's evil, it's scary, it's such an affront, because it's such a beautiful thing that they just have been told to be scary.
I know, and this is the thing, like, I think I didn't expect that, and when we have things happen that we don't expect and our mind can't comprehend it, it becomes like scary. Even though I believe in the collective conscious, I absolutely do. The older I get and the more I meditate and things like that. I won't get too deep into this, but I agree with you, and that makes complete sense. But yeah, I was just blown away by it, and my mind couldn't understand it, so I was like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't deal with this right now. So I kind of can't grasp this. I wasn't ready for it. That's the word I'm looking for. I wasn't ready for that. Yeah, it like you said, it has the yes and the no, and even if my arm was super still, it never failed basically, and I couldn't. I was just mind blown. I still am to this day. So yeah, really interesting stuff. The collective conscious is a tuning fork. Yes.
So these are dowsing rods, and they work the same way. That even though it's so
yeah, dancing rod, yeah.
Sorry. You may know.
Dowsing rods. Now, Caroline, can you give us the history on dowsing rods real quick? They use them for water, right?
Sure. They use them for water, and they were also so you take traditionally they were willow branches, because willow is really bendable. So they take a willow branch in the shape of a Y, and they bend the 2 ends, and then the end of the stick would go up or down if they got closer to water. So this one here is made from a copper thick wire, and then there's a copper tube on the end so that it can move, and then there's a little wooden bead, and then there's another little wooden bead.
Well, copper would probably be the best thing you can have, because it's like a really good conductor, right?
You can use anything. You can even use wire hangers. Now, I hate wire hangers because I cut my foot on them once, and they're just a pain in the ass.
Me too. I hate them.
But you can get some wire hangers, especially I like the ones from the dry cleaner, because they've got the cardboard, so they can twist on their own without your hand moving. And they're great if you've lost something. So if you've lost your keys, you've lost your glasses, you can't find something. A pendulum is a little more difficult to like walk around the house, because as you walk, it's going to sway.
Right.
It's used for finding water, but it can also find your keys. So
You know what I have to find my keys? I have this thing called a tile, and it makes my keychain make a noise from my app. The tile thing saved my life. My brother gave me one for Christmas, but that's a great idea. A lot of people too with pendulums, because they can't carry them around. I've seen people make maps, like they'll use a map or draw a map, and they'll use pendulums to find missing people and children, and it will like lead the way and stuff. And it's just like, it's so cool. It really is.
Yeah.
No wire hangers, Mary says.
Getting back to Ouija boards. So a Ouija board is it is ink and cardstock, and it is made by Milton Bradley, I think, or does Hasbro have the patent right now? So as far as like bringing it into a house, especially if it's never been used, it is no different than a Monopoly board in terms of like the danger. The problem, so many people are like, oh, I never use a Ouija board because it's all dark energy and it's all open, opens a portal and you don't know what you're inviting in.
Yeah,
and
you hear that all the time, yeah.
That is because they don't know what they're doing. So I have had beautiful experiences with spirit boards. However, spirit boards are not, or Ouija boards are not a 101 activity. So you should have you should know, can you banish whatever comes through? Can you control what comes through? So if I'm going to use a spirit board, I would spend probably a half hour to an hour setting up protections, cleansing the place. I would, then when I'm using it, I would use it as a sacred ritual tool. Now, even though it's a sacred ritual tool, you can make one yourself. You can draw out the letters of the alphabet and use a shot glass and have two fingers on the shot glass and it would move. And again, it's like you are the conduit, you are the one moving it, and so if you are calling a spirit, the spirit is using you as the conduit. So it is you moving it, it's just you're unconscious moving it.
So it's the same thing as the pendulum then? So it's the same thing, kind of like the transfer of energy kind of thing? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense now that I think about it.
But yeah, if you are dealing with now an EVP, all that is a digital Ouija board. So if you're using an EVP, you should, so the electro voice phenomenon, you should be using it with the same reverence as you're using a spirit board. So you should be doing proper cleansings beforehand, proper banishings beforehand, proper wards beforehand. And after you're done, you should be doing proper cleansings and banishings and making sure that, nothing's sticking around, because it's the same thing. All it is a tool for spirits to communicate. When I use a spirit board, I never go in and ask for anybody here, because, God knows who'll show up. I never ask, because most people.
So you hold on, stop right. Can you stop right there? You never ask who is here, anybody, because that opens the door to invite anybody in, huh?
Yeah, I would go in with a purpose.
Right, a purpose. Okay.
People do it as a game, and they do it to get scared. And if you're just doing it to get scared, then you're gonna find something that's gonna scare you.
Yeah, if that's your intention, you're gonna get scared. Yeah.
I did a beautiful ritual once with a friend of mine who is adopted, and she is Native, and she knew what her reservation that her birth parents are from. So we went there, and we actually were able to do some work and connect with her birth family. So you should have a purpose. You should have questions set up for what you want to ask. And you should have at least 3 people there. So 2 people to run the board and 1 person to take notes. It can be a wonderful, beautiful experience if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you can really get fucked up. So don't summon what you can't banish. That's like the cardinal rule: is don't summon what you can't banish.
Don't stop. Yeah, I like that. Don't summon what you can't banish. Okay, so go in with good intentions, just like everything in life. Go in with good intentions, and good things should happen. That's how it's supposed to work, anyways.
And having the skills. You don't want to drive a car if you don't know what you're doing. So you don't want to use a
good point, Caroline.
Good point. You should know how to set up proper protections, how to cleanse a space, how to put up wards. You should know how to banish afterwards. You should know what it feels like if there's a spirit that's lingering. Because if you haven't got rid of everything and you think you're done, you could end up in trouble. So
I have a question for you. I think you'd be a good person to ask this question to. So I have a lot of, I like to go to thrift stores. My dad loves antiques. I like stuff like that, cool old stuff. And in a lot of the Facebook groups I used to be on, I see a lot of people who collect antiques say, like, or even thrift store stuff say, like, when you bring something home, you're bringing home, like, the energy that was attached to said object and things like that, and that it can invite things in. What do you know about that you can teach me?
You should be cleansing anything before you bring it into your home, whether new or used. I mean, if you're buying something at, brand new from a store, especially clothing, like it was probably made in a sweatshop in China, so you don't know what energy is attached to it. If you are buying something at a thrift store, it might have something else attached to it, it might not. So I think, cleansing anything before you bring it into your home and just having it as a blank slate, and then you get to put your own energy on it. And there are different ways you can do that. I mean, if you're buying like dishes at the thrift store, you can just wash it in water. I know crystals work for you, so if you have a cleansing crystal, you can put it in the dishwater.
Yeah, my selenite.
You can add some salt to the water.
Yep. But in particular, have you heard stories of like...
If you're adding salt, then you're also sterilizing, right?
Right. Have you in particular heard any stories of like antiques and bad energy coming in with items? Like, have you ever heard stories of bad energy attaching itself to, like, let's say an antique lamp, and someone brings it home, and like then all heck breaks loose and cabinets start opening and whatever it may be? Or is that just stuff made in movies kind of thing? Or is anything possible?
I've heard reports of it. I haven't heard firsthand of it. I know that there's been some times that I've bought something from a thrift store, not washed it first, and I feel like I'm wearing someone else's energy, and it just doesn't feel right. And so I had to wash it, and then I put some specific herbs in the wash, and then it all came in the wash.
Right.
But yes, to do some cleansing on that. As for like really, really hard shit happening, I think it can happen. I think it's rare. I think you're more likely to an energy echo than you are to pick up on like actually a spirit attached to something. And you don't know, like if you bought something brand new, like maybe somebody returned it, you don't know. Doing just a quick cleansing on anything you bring into your house is a good idea.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So you said you have the what is it, an EVP? Is that what it's called? The voice box thing?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you use that for? Like, do you use it when you have like customers? Like, give me an example of when you would use that. Anytime, or just like do you have specific things you do with it, or? Well,
if I'm using it in concert with a client who's wanting to connect with a deceased loved one, I use it. It's not something that I use a lot, just because it's a lot of work to set up and a lot of work to take down. So sometimes I'll just be like, hey, I want to see if there's if there's anyone who lives with me, and so I will connect with those. And even like every house has its own kind of like energy and spirit. So if you've ever seen the Marie Kondo show on Netflix.
I love Marie. Yeah.
Me too. And I love her animate, how she believes that every object has this energy. And the first thing she does,
Marie Kondo, she thanks her clothes before she gives them away. Like, thank you for being my shirt. That's so cool. I love the way she folds her stuff, but I like her.
The first thing that she does when she comes into a client's home is she takes a moment and she kneels down in the center of the home and she connects with the house. And I think that is a beautiful way of like, hello, I am here, I respect you, we're working together, and you kind of get to know the house. So I love how she does that, and I think that that's something that we can all do. And maybe you buy something and it has a really nice energy, and you'd like to keep that energy with you. And
have you ever seen her, like, the way that Marie Kondo will take a pair of socks and just the way she does her socks and how she touches things? It's like, I wish I could be that dainty. Like, she's so dainty. I wish I could do that. She's very dainty. That's the only word that comes to mind, dainty. She's like, don't take your socks and fold them inside out into each other. Oh no, she don't do that. She lays them on top of each other. But let me tell you, the way that she folds her clothes changed my life. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it really did. Like, the way she folds her stuff is really cool. If you guys don't know who she is, check her out. But I was going to do a show coming up. I have a few people in my email who I asked people, I don't know if you know this, Caroline, last week I asked people if anybody has like a ghost story or a UFO story or anything like that they want to share, like, hit me up. And I have a couple people in my inbox that I have to make, appointments with to talk to, but it's kind of funny that we kind of trailed off here into this because now I see people saying things like this, all my furniture is from dead people. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, man. I've always washed my clothes before wearing them for some reason. Yeah, like Caroline said, like they come from China. You don't know where they've been. You know what I mean? Like you kind of have to. You hear these stories too, like where they make peanut butter. Like there's rats that run around, and like you just never know where things come from. I was more interested in the dark forces nature of it, but. Do you have any crazy stories, Caroline?
I had an ex-boyfriend once who, oh my god, how many creepy stories? Like how much time do you have? For me to not believe in ghosts would be like not believing in my photo. This is a part of my life, and I mean, people hire me and pay me to clean their houses, like cleanse their houses of stuff. So, yeah,
cool.
I have lots of stories. My whole life.
Wow, is that why you got into this stuff?
Partly. I think that it's always been a part of me. So with tarot, the reason I got into it was actually because of my autism, that I have such trouble seeing what people's true intentions are about understanding people. And as I started getting into dating, that started to become very dangerous, that I didn't understand. Like if somebody tells me they want to Netflix and chill, I don't understand that they want to do something other than watch something on Netflix and relax.
Right.
So I think that tarot became an assistive device. So some people have hearing aids, some people have glasses. I have tarot.
Cool. That's cool though. I like that. That's awesome. Caroline and AZ Ginger in the house. Get Caroline and AZ. So Dana wants to know what your opinion on demonic oppression is, Caroline.
I think it's real, but it is extremely rare. So it irritates me a lot that anytime something goes bump on a ghost show, they always want to scream demon. And it also bugs me when they say that anything inhuman is demon. And probably not. Like in all of my experiences, I've come across a demonic obsession or a demonic oppression once. So yeah, really, really rare. It could be fae, and I think that's something that people don't realize is that the fae can be nasty and dangerous. They're not like cute little.
Hold on, whoa, the fae?
Yes.
Who's the fae? I don't know them. Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't know there was okay. Now I'm going to be up on like Googling that because I love to like learn these things. Like I love these things. Just here for the tea. She has not read my cards yet, but I definitely will do that with her soon. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Absolutely. Book a reading. My website is listed below in the description. It's super easy to book a reading. You just click on the service that you want. The time you want and enter your name and it's done. I have had to start asking for payment at time of booking because I started to have people not pay for months at a time. So that's something that's now changed with my service. Demons, if you feel that you are under demon oppression, Google actually just email me and I'll send you the link for the ritual. So you would do a 28-day uncrossing for Archangel Michael. That would be probably my advice to you. I think it does happen. I think it's extremely rare. I think it's most of the cases that people think are demon oppression tend to be mental illness. So you tend to be dealing with like schizophrenia or something else where there's a break from reality, or there's issues with perception and hallucinations.
Right.
In the small case where it's not mental illness, then sometimes it can be ghostly. And usually when you're dealing with ghostly energy, it's it's residual energy, which is just like an echo, and it's not if I moved into a place that had, in fact I have before, that has residual energy, I don't bother cleansing it because it's like, okay, Sometimes it's a resident ghost, and it's actually like an intelligent spirit. And I don't always get rid of it. Sometimes I make deals with it. Like I had a ghost at a townhouse I lived in for 8 years, and I called him Norm. He was the uncle of a former resident, and he was fine. And he started causing some trouble, and I put down the rules, and I'm like, no. I live here.
You were like, listen, Norm. You're not gonna do this. This ain't gonna happen here, Norm. You better behave yourself. I believe you. My cousin has one named Fred, so go ahead. Yeah, I believe that, man.
I let you stay. If you want to stay, these are the rules, and that was how I laid it down. And mostly, like it's really important to not show fear, because that's how they feed. And if you're showing it fear, then it's getting more and more powerful. So usually, like, contempt is usually what I show. So it's like, fuck off, Frank. It's 6 a.m. I have to get up in an hour. What the hell do you think?
I agree. Contempt is way better than fear. I agree. Yeah. Yep. So, and that's funny that you say that, because that was my natural instinct one time. Somebody asked me if I had ever seen a ghost, and no, I've never seen one, like the ghost shape, nothing like that. But I did walk into my old apartment one time, and I got this god-awful feeling that something was watching me, that something was there. I can't even explain it, but I literally put my groceries down, and my instinct was to be like, I don't want you here. Get out of here. Get out of here. You're not welcome here. Like, I just told it. I've never done anything like that before, and I've never had that problem again. Contempt. Tell it, get out. But yeah, there can be good ones. Yeah.
If you have the lease to your apartment or the deed to the house, stick it on the fridge with a magnet. This is my place now. I live here. See this? See on the dotted line where I signed? Yeah, that's my place now. One of the rules I had with Norm is that you are not allowed to show yourself. I don't want to see you. I'm not ready to see you. You don't. And the only time I end up catering for Norm is he was protective of me when there were men over. There's one particular guy he didn't like, and he would shut off my computer or unplug my phone if I was talking to this guy. Yeah.
Did the guy end up being a bad guy? Was Norm right?
Yeah, I should have listened to Norm.
Freaking Norm. You should have listened to Norm, man. I need a Norm. Tell Norm to come over here. Norm, can you help me? Oh my god.
My god. The intelligent spirits. And then you got a small percentage of the intelligent spirits that are inhuman. And most of the inhuman that I come across are fae. So fairies. But fairies are different than what we think they are. And if you're in North America, and you're white, so then a lot of the fae that you get are North American deities that are not cool with white people. So when you hear a lot of the "get out" voices, it's
my god,
a Native American land spirit that doesn't want you there because you are an invader. And then there's a very, very, very small percentage of that inhuman, which one would call demon. And demons aren't necessarily evil. I've actually done work with demons. I find demons easier to work with than angels. If you think that that's bad, you need to check your bias. Working with demons is like working with the mafia.
What?
So it's not something I do a lot.
What do you just sacrifice somebody? What do you mean the mafia?
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, this just blew my mind. Working with demons is easier than working with angels. So it's easier to cut a deal with the demons. Okay. Is that it?
When you work with angels, they have very, very. So I work with angels. I work with Archangel Michael probably more than any other angel. I've done some work with Raphael, but Michael is kind of my go-to guy, or Michael. Angels will fuck you up. They are scary, and you need to bend to their rules, and you need to be perfect. And there's a lot of expectations. Angels are not bad or good, but they're scary. And if you read the Bible, what are the first words that come out of the angel's mouth when they appear? They say, "Fear not," or "Don't be afraid." Why? Because our little human brains cannot handle the presence of an angel. And I have huge issues with Doreen Virtue. I hate her. If I'm going to have an internet beef with anyone, it's going to be Doreen Virtue. You will, if you try to summon an angel, you will know you're successful by the puddle of urine under your chair. You will have this feeling of extreme overwhelmed
I
fear.
had no idea. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Are shadow people and demons the same thing? Do you know?
I think that there's something different. I think that you could be dealing with fae. I think that you could be dealing with a lot of different things with shadow people. There could be like crossovers between dimensions. I'm not really sure. I haven't done a lot of work with researching shadow people. I know a bit about them. So yeah, if I'm dealing with angels, usually there's a sense of righteousness, of purity, and you need to be like right on with your stuff. If you're dealing with any, and you usually you'd use some sort of like ceremonial magic. So it's like a lot of Hebrew, and I don't speak Hebrew, but I know a little bit to do some ceremonial magic. There's something called lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, which uses the 4 archangels. Working with demons is like, it's like working with the mafia. So you are very specific on what you want. You go in, you cut your deal, you ask what they want in return. You are very specific on what that is. And as long as you provide your side of the deal, you're good. And,
okay, well, that's interesting. You definitely taught me a couple of cool things tonight. That's pretty cool. I had no idea. Go ahead.
Working with demons is a last resort, though. Like, it is, in my experience, it is guaranteed to work. But yeah, it's not. It's the last resort. So if if your kid's in danger and you need something to happen now, you go in, you cut your deal, and you as long as you meet your end of the bargain, you're fine. If you welt on your side to a demon, you are fucked. So yeah.
If you show what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. If you show what?
Like if you welch on the deal, if you don't do your half of the bargain, you're fucked.
Then you get taken care of, right? Like mafia style.
Yeah.
I get it. It literally is like the mafia. Then I can see your analogy. That completely makes sense now. Yep, that's pretty cool.
So yeah,
that's pretty cool. How can hold on? What is this? T. How can I pictures of? Oh, you want to send me pictures of your crystals? Okay. Yeah, I'll type in my email address right here. Send them on over. I love crystals. Caroline isn't a big fan of crystals, because of the mining of them. It's not. What did you tell me? It wasn't like natural to mine crystals or something. I can't remember how you put it, but.
So crystals can be fine. My issue is that there are environmental practices done with crystals that are sometimes unethical. So crystals form deep in the earth, and we don't control where they form. Usually, I mean, you can control them in labs now. They can make crystals, but
right.
Yeah. So there's amethyst deep in the earth, and often it's in like third world countries that don't have very strong environmental protection laws. So they go in and they strip, and sometimes they use like child slave labor to strip mine, and they kill everything.
Like blood diamond.
Yeah, and they make a hole in the ground so big you can see it from space, and and they just leave this crater in the earth.
Right.
So if you are going to buy crystals, I would recommend personally that you try to find ethically sourced crystals. They do exist. I know one company is called Kashi Stones, Kashi like the cereal, and that guy digs the hole, like himself and his workers. He pays the workers fairly, and he covers up the hole when he leaves. So they tend to be a little bit more expensive because they're more ethically mined. But if you want to buy crystals and you ask someone how are they sourced and they don't know what you're talking about, probably not a good idea to buy those crystals.
Right.
But if you've already bought them,
I know. Like that movie Blood Diamond, man, that kind of changed my outlook, and I saw it a long time ago and forgot about it, but when you said that to me, I thought of that movie, and I was like, yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, but same could be said for Nike sneakers and things like that, man. The way that they're mined, the people aren't treated fairly, but I understand what you're saying about, like, the earth, too, and stuff. When I had some broken crystals, and a few of them I've put back to the earth, and other ones I'm too selfish, and I keep them, but James asked me, like, what do you clean your crystals with? So what I do is, the ones I've had that that can go near water, some of them can't, I will just hold them under the water and I will just picture them being cleansed with like white light or whatever. Or I've taken sage to the ones that can't. Speaking of that, I should probably re-cleanse mine. They haven't been cleansed in a while. I missed the moon, the pink moon the other night. That wasn't pink. My child was very upset that the pink moon wasn't pink the other night. I don't know if you guys heard about that, but it was supposed to be a pink moon, but breaking news, it wasn't pink. But so that's what I do. And then recently I've learned that you're not supposed to keep certain crystals near each other. There's so many layers to this whole crystal thing, and yeah, so you know, we'll see. But I have them in certain corners of my house and things like that, like the black, what is it called? I lost the name of it in my head. I don't know. Oh my god, I eluded it, but it'll get back to me. But Caroline freaks me out messing around with the dark side. Like, this is the thing, Art Girl. You must not have been listening in the beginning. It's not really a dark side, though. Like, if your intentions are good and it's light, it's not really a dark side. Like, she explained that black magic isn't really all it's cracked up to be. It derives from slaves and stuff. So we had a nice little chat about that before, if you missed that. But Caroline is not into the dark forces. Let's just make that clear. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Like I said,
my intentions are very good. My heart is very big. I am, a very caring person, and I do a lot of good in the world. I am not an evil person. Magic isn't good or evil. Magic isn't black or white. Magic is the movement of energy. So it is as ethical as the weather. And you might not like the weather, but it doesn't have a bad intention. Like the weather isn't out to get you. At least I hope not. Although I do have a story about that. Okay, so this is me doing magic that some people would consider to be not ethical. Okay, so here's the story about me. It takes a lot to get me angry. So I'm a Taurus. My birthday is next Saturday. It takes a lot to get me angry. And I am not someone who's quick to do vengeance, but I have a limit. And so there was this one woman who ran a festival in my old city, and it was an outdoor one-day festival. And the first year she ran it, I had an amazing time. I made a ton of money reading tarot. I did really well. I was very popular. The woman who ran the festival, a few months after, was really mean to me and actually made me cry. So I cried. She made me cry. So I spent my patron god is a god of weather, and so I spent the next year imagining crappy weather on the day of her festival, and she ended up raising her prices to $500 for the one-day festival, and it was in August, and it actually snowed that morning.
In August?
Yeah.
Yo, you made it snow in August?
It was just a little bit of sleet, and it was just in the morning. But the whole day in August was cold and rainy. And everybody lost money, and she never had the festival again. You do not make a druid cry. Fuck you, lady.
That's so bad. Caroline, no, I'm not monetizing this anyways. It's about drugs and stuff, so But that's pretty badass, man. It really is. But
so,
that is so funny. Anyway. I make it rain on these hoes. That's Caroline's theme song. Oh my god, I find this so interesting. That is so cool. I'm really glad that we did this. I know we kind of veered off here, but I'm glad we did because I think we've all learned a couple things here. Yeah, and the movement of energy, man. I believe we are all energy, and absolutely, and I believe energy can be manipulated, and I believe there's dark energy and light energy. And listen, I was raised to be Catholic. I went to CCD. I made my confirmation. I did all that stuff. And
as soon as I got older,
somebody asked me a question one time, and it's one of those questions that'll stick with me for the rest of my life that, kind of changed me. They said to me, if you weren't raised to be Catholic and you had no idea about any of this and nobody told you what to believe in, what would you believe? And I sat on that for a long time and I really thought about it. I'm like, what would I believe in? What? And the only thing I could come up with in my heart was that you know, that there is like a universal love and there is a universal connection and universal energy. And if I believe in that, then everything else kind of connects to that. All these things that we've spoke of kind of fall under that umbrella of the universal energy. Do you know what I mean? And I know that some people might hear that and be like, that sounds crazy, but does it really? Because energy is what we all are. I mean, you know, and it's all connected. It's all connected. Listen to us. I'm like, it's all, people are going to think we're freaking, it's all connected. But I actually read the book called, I don't know if you know this book. It's called The Law of One. It was a channeled book of, they channeled these light beings, and everything they said made complete sense about how the universe works. Really interesting stuff. But, yeah, I'm not going to say that I don't believe in God and Christ and all that stuff, because I believe it's all the same. I believe that Christ, God, whatever, is the universal love. So it, you know, people think of Jesus as like standing there and, you know, the long white robe with the beard and the hair and all, like, no. I'm sorry to break it to you, but that guy probably, you know, didn't exist in that form. I think that it's all, you know, different. Hey, Black Swan. So yeah, but back to Ashley here, because I do have to jump off because I have to put my little one to bed because it's like a half hour past her bedtime. I can hear her out there. She's gonna get all fired up if I don't get her in bed by 10:15. It's a wrap, dude. She's like turned into like a ball of energy. She gets like a second wind and goes off crazy. But you know, anyways, Caroline, man, I really appreciate you coming on. Your perspective is really enlightening, to say the least, and I really enjoyed this conversation, and it's really interesting stuff that I think not a lot of people talk about. And again, with the whole Ashley thing, man, Ashley, if you ever wanna, when you're ready to do the next best thing, and you need someone, I'll help you in any way that I can, you know, whether it be finding a bed, at a detox, anything like that, you know. But and like I said, her moderators need to take a better think about what you're doing. Moderators out there for Ashley, please think about what you're doing. You're just helping her, and whether you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart or not, in the long run, it's not beneficial to anybody. And that's really all I have to say about that. But all right, Caroline, we'll do this again sometime soon.
And just a quick shout out to Ashley as well. Again, like, I will be your Canadian auntie if you don't have family to rely on. Yeah, we can shoot the shit about tarot or anything. Caroline at carolinironwill.com, and yeah, reach out to me if you'd like to talk. You know,
guys,
we're not competition. We are colleagues.
No.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah,
wash your hands,
wash your hands, wear a mask. Thank you, Caroline. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody. Thanks for showing up in the chat. Take care. Bye. Love you guys.